Hey girl, can you hear me? Is that working for you? Well, you know what? Let me. Hmm. Okay, you have it on mute. Do you see something on the bottom to unmute yourself? Oh wait, I think I can do it. There you go.
There you go.
Can you hear me? There we go. I can hear you now. How are you? Are you feeding baby?
I'm not. She wants to be eating.
Oh, how old is she now?
She's a month and a half.
Aww. Where's the rest of them? How many do you have total?
I have 4.
4 total. So they're keeping you all busy. Is hubby home too, or just you?
She is home. Thank
Well,
God.
that's good. Yes, that is good. So how is it with 4 being at home? Well, at least you do have hubby home. Like with new,
It's tough.
you can imagine.
Yes, it is tough. I used to be a stay-at-home mom, and he worked oil field, and holy moly.
Oh gosh. So my husband used to work like with Bobcat, so he was traveling everywhere,
Yeah.
and I only had 2, so I can only imagine.
Right. He was home 1 week every month, and so I did it all by myself for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So
not bad. Most of them come for weekends. So then this is maybe not so hard because it was worse whenever he was gone.
yes, even with just the 3, it was way worse when he was gone. But we managed. We figured it out.
Yeah, I think that's just what we have to do. Keep on going.
Right.
So what are you doing to keep yourself sane? Are you just going crazy? Like some days I feel like I'm just going crazy.
Right. As I say, I just go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
90% of the time, I'm just going crazy, especially with this homework mess.
Yeah, that's hard. So like after, I don't know if you do, but after having a baby, my hormones and like I'm just a hot mess mentally, physically, everything. So your body's trying to get back to normal and then you don't have a normal to come back to. So that
Right.
a lot of these moms I'm talking to over the phone that were supposed to do newborn sessions and stuff with me, they're just like, I didn't expect for this. Like,
Right.
I'm sure. How different is it compared to your other ones, bringing them home?
It was a lot different. So I had a C-section this time for the first time, and so that was a whole new ball game.
Oh, yeah.
So just being able to not move as much, and I had a spinal fluid leak from the C-section, and so that comes with headaches and you just can't move, and it feels awful. And so coming home to that, and my husband's like, you have to rest. I'm like, what is rest?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I have 3
Yeah.
kids at home already, plus the newborn that depends on me 24/7. I don't know rest. And so it was tough because then when we came home from the hospital, they're like, oh, by the way, you have to quarantine and there's no more school. And I'm like, oh, but my kids should be at school. Like,
Yeah.
this is not
I'm
what
depending on a little bit of time.
that's not what I planned at all. I'm like, I needed that time to kind of get into a good routine with just both the girls because the other one is 2, so I thought she'll be at home, but my boys will be gone for most of the day, so I'll be able to kind of get into a good routine and kind of get things back in order. And then here, all of them are at home. I'm like, no, this was not supposed to happen.
Some sanity. So, so how are you? So you have 2 in school with homework.
Yes,
What ages are they?
I have a 2nd grader and a 4th grader.
Okay, so how is that with 4th grade? So I remember 3rd grade. I don't know why. I felt like 3rd grade was the hardest with homework.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't know what it is, but 4th grade to my when he was in 3rd grade, he struggled. Like, he just wasn't getting it, so my oldest has dyslexia. and
Uh-huh.
ADHD.
Okay.
And so that's been tough to kind of navigate around because I do not know how to teach kids like that. Like, it's a struggle. Even just everyday homework with him is a struggle. And so now that we're doing it at home, it's even worse. And so with him in third grade, like, it just got 10 times harder. And I mean, he made it. He did good. He passed. He passed that what the STAR testing that they do that they were so concerned about him passing, and he did amazing. And then fourth grade comes and he is like flying through fourth grade like it's no big deal.
That's good. I feel like third grade is like a transition from like, I don't know, like they're coming into being big kid stuff.
Right.
I don't know, but it is hard. I remember that being the worst year. And
It's like they're having to figure it all out on their own and kind of, like you said, transitioning from like the teachers helping them a lot to they gotta just figure it out. And he struggled. It was a tough year. Lots of tears.
Oh, so I always struggled with dyslexia. So I can only imagine having double whammy for a mom. Like,
Right.
So, and it's hard. I remember still to this day arguing with my mom because with dyslexia, you see it in a totally different way than you see it. You know, he probably sees it a completely different way than what you see it. So it's hard to understand.
Right. He's a very frustrated reader, and it's awful because I excelled in reading. That was my subject. Reading in English was my thing. And he just doesn't get it. And I'm like, I don't know how to teach you because like I don't understand how to make you get it. Like I can't help you. And so it's been tough. It's been really tough. And then now they're saying that my youngest may have dyslexia as well. And so we were supposed to get him tested, but then school got canceled. So we have not done that yet. And so having two of them, but they're totally different. So I guess if the youngest has dyslexia, he sees it completely different as my older one because he's not as frustrated and he reads better. So I'm curious to see if he actually has it or not.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I wonder if how, like, you know, if there's like different types of dyslexia, you know, if they do maybe see it differently, or I don't know. I've really researched it lately, and it's way more. I thought it was just like seeing letters backwards, or you know, I mean, it goes in deep.
It is so complex.
Yes, yes, yes.
My sister's oldest little boy has it as well, but he is completely different than mine. Like he sees it totally different than mine. I'm like, it's so weird. Like before I knew what dyslexia was, I just thought, oh, you know, they write their letters backwards, which my oldest does. But it's way more than that.
Yes, it is. And it's like their whole world, they see it completely different, which is cool. So like let them think of it as a superpower because they'll have advantage on some stuff. They might be artsy.
Yes, he's very smart. I mean, he is super smart when it comes to like sciencey things. That's his jam. That's where he's comfortable at is science and like the way things work and building things, and that's him. But like this reading, he could care less. He doesn't want to do it. So homework is a chore. Right now he's in the kitchen doing work that he was supposed to do this past week, and I checked to make sure he did it. So he's sitting in there completing it now because it's not done and we have to turn it in 2 hours. So
Yeah. So how are you doing on schedule? I absolutely suck. I just suck at it. I used to want to be a homeschool mom and like think that we could do this and travel with my husband whenever he was. My kids probably wouldn't have a great education because I suck so bad at scheduling.
right. So I pretty much stay on schedule. I mean, they get up and by 10 o'clock they're doing their work and I have it all laid out on the table, whatever they're supposed to do for that day, and they do it. And I kind of help them, especially my second grader. I help him a lot because he needs more help than the fourth grader. But I make sure that they do everything for that day. Now, toward the end of the week, I'm over it. And so we may not finish one of our sheets of work and I'll, tack it on to the next day. But I mean, I make them sit down by 10 o'clock every day after breakfast and get their work started. And it may take them, some days it takes them 2 hours, some days it takes them 4 or 5. It just depends because they sit across from each other at the table and play and argue with each other and cut up, and so it takes them 10 times longer than it should.
Yeah, and that's what I'm with mine are 7 years apart. So that's a pro and a con. But they have to do it separate times. Like Gabby's gotten to where she wants to stay up more, so I let her sleep in the mornings, and we get Graceland's done the best I can, but she just does not have the attention. Like, I would love for her to just do it and get it done with, but we have to break it up throughout the day because she will not just sit at a computer and
Right.
pay attention. But and then Gabby, I try to make her do something every day from 12 to 3, but like I said, I suck at scheduling, so it doesn't always work that way, or life kind of gets in the way. But I don't know. So how do you feel like you're having more time with your family, or how are you?
I don't know. I struggle with that one because I mean, we're home 24/7. We don't really go anywhere. The other day we went and drove around and went and ate wherever the kids decided they wanted to eat. Everybody wanted to eat something different, but that's what we did because we were so ready to get out of the house.
Yes.
But at the same time, like with the schoolwork, I feel like they're doing schoolwork all day long, and so I'm
Yeah.
not doing much with them because they're doing schoolwork, and then when they're not doing schoolwork, they want to be playing video games or playing with the neighbors, or so it's
Yeah.
really not. We're not spending more time together, honestly.
Yeah, and that's what I have a lot. But and I don't know if it's the schoolwork takes longer because they don't have someone. I don't know, but I feel like that's all that we do too is schoolwork. And then today, my husband dragged the kids out and made them do stuff in the yard. And now I think I have puppy eyes. Something blew in because my allergies are awful.
Right, the baby is. I feel like she's got some allergies going on right now too. She's like sounds like she's congested. So over the last few days, something has come that was not here.
So with the baby, that I'm jumping all over the place. Sometimes I wonder if I have ADHD. So with the baby, I was like, whenever I came home with both my girls, I was completely crazy. Gabby was a February baby, so I was terrified of the flu. I wouldn't let no one come over or anything. Are you like that with a baby, or are you just?
So I'm not. So my kids were born in the summer. I have a July and August, and then my 2-year-old was born in May, like the last week of May. So I haven't ever been like that. I mean, 2 or 3 days old, like we leave the hospital and we go out and eat, or we go to Walmart. Like I've never really cared. I guess because I didn't have a baby born in the winter, in the flu season, the cold, yuck. And so with this one, she was born March 9th, and she was born at 37 weeks because I had some complications and they had to go ahead and take her. And so with her being smaller, I thought, there's no way, like, we're not going anywhere. We're not, like, I'm not taking her out because it's flu season. I was not concerned with this virus at all. Like, that was not top of my list. I'm more concerned about the flu because I know how bad it is. And my youngest and my oldest had flu the right before Christmas, and so I'm like, we are not catching that crap again. So we have not been anywhere with her really. I mean, I've taken her to her grandma's house, but other than that, that's about it because yeah, it's definitely different, I guess, when you have your kids because like I said, with me having them in the summertime and all the heat, and there is no sicknesses like that. So I never thought about it, but now with her, I have a car seat cover, and like if I have to take her anywhere, I cover her up. I don't want nobody touching her. Like it's totally different. It's totally different because I had her, and I think because even if I would have had her, April, May, I probably still would have been that way because I did have her a little bit earlier than the rest of my kids. My kids were all born like 2 days before their due date, and so it made me, I guess, I was a little more comfortable because they were not early, but with her being born 3 weeks early, I kind of second guessed myself of maybe I shouldn't really take her out anywhere.
Yeah, I know. That's what I just have really bad anxiety, so I know that I would be like a nut job probably.
I'm a pretty laid back mom when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, it doesn't bother me people touching on them or holding them, or like, that doesn't bother me at all. Like, I want people to come see me. I want people to love on them. But then this, I'm like, maybe not. Maybe just stay home.
Yeah, well, I just feel like it's so, no one really knows much about it. I feel like it's kind of like in the unknown. Does the mask protect you? It doesn't. It does. You know, like they keep on going back and forth about everything. So I'm like, what the heck do we do?
Right.
So I know whenever my husband goes most of the time, I think I went to Walmart twice.
Yeah. I've been out a few times, but I've left her.
Yeah, and I didn't bring the girls with me, but it was more just me getting out of the house and having some. So do you even, I mean, do you just leave the house sometimes and like, here, husband, I know it's hard with a newborn because I could never, so you have absolutely zero me time.
Nope, not at all. Especially because I nurse. So
Yeah, there's
yeah,
it's kind
so
of
she's
impossible.
with me 24/7. And even if I do run to Walmart or wherever, I'm like, do you want me to leave her? And he's like, maybe not. Like, go ahead and take her. But now, obviously, with the virus, he's like, okay, maybe she should stay here. Like,
Yeah.
or Brittany next door. He's like, you want to leave her with Brittany?
Right, well, you were like the best next door neighbor ever. Love Brit.
Right, we keep family too. So
Oh, well, then that's perfect.
yes, we got lucky.
Yeah. So what about, and I'm guessing, like, I know, I mean, I don't even have 4 kids. So I just have 2, and one's 12, going to be 13, and there's no me and hubby time, like, you know, at all. Like, what is that?
Right, we have not went out, just me and him. It's been probably 3 or 4 years at least. Like, and even before that, we typically would go out on our anniversary. Um, in August, it'll be 10 years that we've been married. And so we typically go out. They do that margarita and salsa festival in Waco.
Mm-hmm.
We do that because it's usually people that we like to hear. And so, a man who doesn't like a margarita.
Yeah.
So we usually go do that. And then, but with his schedule, when he was in the oil field, it just, if it fell on the weeks that he was home, we went. If not, then we don't go anywhere and do anything. And so it's just like, oh, happy anniversary, we're married another year. Like,
Yeah, I guess so.
after that, we don't have time. We don't, because usually, once again, Brittany keeps our kids if we do that, and we don't like for her to have to keep our kids because we have a lot of them, and on top of hers, like, that's a lot of kids. And so a lot of times we'll just go eat with my in-laws and take all the kids, and that's what we do for our anniversary.
Yeah, and I feel like you're maybe like me, like it's my kids. I hate leaving them. Like if I leave them, I'll leave them with either my aunt or with my mom. But I am like, they're my kids. I'm supposed to have them. But I understand too, like the importance. Like we shouldn't forget about a relationship with our husband. Right now, it's just impossible. Like,
right. Well, and he understands that. Like, we don't even talk about going and do anything because even he's like, even if we go out, you're gonna call and check on the kids 20 times. I'm like, I can't help it. Like, it's just, I can't not, like, we've not ever left our 2-year-old overnight or anything. Like, so when I went to the hospital, it killed me that, like, that was the first time she'd been left. And I mean, she was at home. My mother came in from Louisiana, and so she was at my house. She wasn't, somewhere random. But just the thought of leaving them, I don't like it. Everybody's like, y'all should go on vacation and leave your kids. I can't do that. I can't. I plan my vacations around what my kids might want to do or what's fun for them. I don't plan a vacation by myself.
So I did go on a vacation. We went all the way to Mexico, I believe, like 2 years ago. So my youngest was about 2, and I was flipping out, major anxiety, not want to leave. I mean, because Mexico, like, there's no, like, something happens, I can just be there in a couple hours or anything. Like, so it was pros and cons, but once I got there, I knew, like, they were in good hands. I had to give it to God, and I had to relax because there's nothing I could do. And it was good for our relationship, but man, my husband hasn't got me to do that again yet.
I I don't know that I could do it. My mom, she lives 6 hours from us, so she's always wanting. My boys are older, but she's like, I could take them for the summer. Like she'll come and visit, and we try to go there. During the summer a couple of times. I try to have my kids a birthday party in Louisiana with all my family there because it's hard for them to travel here. And so she'll come to my house, and then like a week or two later, we'll be planning to go to their house. And she's like, "But you can let me take the boys with me." Like I can't do it. Like even though I know where they are, and we're only 6 hours away. Like if something happens, I can't get to them right then. And like
Yeah.
that part of me, I can't do it. I cannot let. And they would probably love it, but I just cannot do it. I can't let them go, knowing that if something happens, I can't get to them.
I know. And I always wonder, like, if that feeling will ever go away. And I keep on waiting, like, maybe another year, like, maybe it will help, but it doesn't go away. Like, like
I mean,
18, if I feel this way, we're going to have problems.
right. I mean, gosh, my kids will be 10 and 8 this summer, and I just can't, like, I still don't have the urge to go anywhere without them. Sorry, husband, but
I know.
you kind of put on the back burner for a little bit.
Yeah. That's an Abel one's another one so bad, and I love babies. God, I think that's why I love newborn photography, just because I always said I was going to have 6 kids.
But, oh gosh.
Yeah, but financially, that really, I don't know.
Right.
So expensive, but and so I don't know where I was going with this. I lost train of thought, but I need more coffee, I guess. But I couldn't imagine. I feel like whenever maybe they're high school, if I ever stop feeling this way, maybe that will be my time for me and my husband to do stuff. If I ever go anywhere, I always tell Gabby if she moves off for college, we'll just move with her.
I don't know. Once my kids are old enough to move out, I'll probably be pushing them out the house. But
I hope it gets to that point.
Right now, they're mine. And I'm not. And we never intended on 4. Our last one was a big surprise. So we were good at 3. We were content, and 4th one comes along, and we're like, oh no.
Hey, but it happened, right? Like I tried. I had awful pregnancies too, but we tried for 7 years to have another one, and it just never happened. And had a roller coaster ride through that journey. And so I just was like, okay, well, it's just going to be an only child. And then surprise, Graceland came. So. Yeah.
Right. It's like when you quit trying, that's when it happens.
I think so. And all the moms that I talk to that go through that, it's like whenever they finally are just like, forget it, then that's whenever, like you let your body and don't try so hard. Yeah. So I know little one's getting a little fussy. Thank you for me this morning.
Awake, and if she's awake, she thinks she has to eat. It doesn't matter. She eats so much she spits up all day because she just is a pig.
Well, I feel like I was just her pacifier.
Right.
Yeah, like
that's what it is. I'm like, dude, I can't just be your pacifier all day long. I've got other kids to tend to, and like you gotta figure it out on your own because I can't just sit and pacify you all day.
Yeah. Well, I seen y'all walking the other day downtown. I wanted to come see her so bad, but I didn't want to get close.
Well, we're supposed to be social distancing, whatever that is. I
feel like everyone's just so tired of it.
Right.
They're not even really doing it that much. Like everyone, I mean, it's like to a point where our mental health is not, I don't know. I know we still got to be safe, but I feel like everyone's kind of taking the guards down a little bit more.
Yeah, I definitely have. I feel like I'm over it. I feel like the media is making it worse than it is. And they're just trying to scare everybody. And I'm just kind of like, I'm done. I've stayed in my house long enough.
Yeah.
We had to cancel baby shower because of this stupid virus. And I've got a birthday coming up in May for the 2-year-old. And I'm just like, I'm ready for life to move on.
Yes, I know. I know.
Like,
I feel like everyone, even if I'm curious to see what they're going to say today, if they're going to open up more, or I think today's the day that they're going to announce all that.
yeah,
But
I think so.
I am curious because I feel like even if they don't open up, people are just, I know on social media, I've seen more people gathering, getting
Hmm.
together because everyone's just like sick of it, like getting cabin fever. So,
Right. My sister lives in Louisiana, and she's like wanting to come here. And right now the border is supposed to be, the state line's supposed to be closed off, and nobody's supposed to travel between the two states. I'm like, just come, just. I mean, she's been sitting at home with her 4 kids, and they have not done anything either. And so I'm like, you're fine, just come. Like, whatever, whatever you need to do. I have a friend that her mom works. She lives right at the Texas Louisiana border, but she works in Louisiana, and she's been traveling back and forth. And she was like, they've been checking. They check for the first week or two, but they haven't checked in days. I'm like, just come, like,
yeah.
just come, because we're also. I mean, we're all bored.
Well, and I even feel like stores and stuff, you see less and less masks this past week or gloves. Like, I don't know, I feel like everyone's just sick of it and just letting their guard down. So if they don't open it, everyone, I mean, just gonna, I guess, be
Right.
so,
Everybody's over it.
yeah.
I'm definitely over it. My kids, like, we go to the grocery store and we all ride, and just my husband goes in the shop, and all the kids are sitting in the car, and they're like, why can't we go in? I'm like, you just can't. Like, that's what they told us, you can't go in. And I'm not going to be one of these parents that brings my kids in and then everybody talks about me. So we just sit in the car, and it's driving them crazy that they can't go anywhere. We actually went fishing with them the other day at a small little pond because, I mean, there's nothing else to do, and they're dying to go somewhere. They don't understand that they have to sit inside. They could care less about a virus. They don't understand that. They don't get that. And so
And
we
that's
have to.
hard, yeah, whenever they don't understand.
I mean, they know it's the coronavirus, like, because they heard it at school, right before they got out, that everybody's talking about this coronavirus. So they know that there's a virus, but, like, it's just I don't let my kids see all the media hype,
Yeah.
and so it's just, I mean, to them it's just like anything else. You get the flu or you get a stomach virus, and it's no big deal. But now all of a sudden this virus is like, we have to shut everything down. My 2-year-old is out here with me now. I tried to hide. She found me.
I mean, you have hid longer than I could ever hide.
No, she was in our bedroom playing on my husband's phone, so I snuck out while I could, but she found me. I'm in the corner of my yard, like in the very back of my yard, sitting, and she still found me.
Well, I'll let you go so you can feed baby girl and attend to the other baby girl. So, but thank you for chatting with me.
All right.
You have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.